I think this hand has to be a mulligan. I spent some time thinking about it, but I don't think that just pitching Spirit Guide and diluting is good enough. This hand I think is pretty bad, but it'll do. I think it's better than a 5. Like, I have a Vengeance. I don't have a discard outlet, which is the problem. But I am gonna get to Night's Whisper. I have a distinct feeling that if my opponent's leading on this, I need to gun this Night's Whisper on 1 in order to actually stick it and get to a land. That is a lot of Nourishing Shoals. I'm getting a Blood Crypt here because, well, so my logic may have been wrong, but it was that I think I wanted the flexibility of like not being stuck off a color just because I fetched the wrong land because I'm still digging for a land. Here we see one of the unfortunate interactions of the deck, which is World Spine plus Gorios. Probably just getting turn 2 Tassigard. Or Gurmagged. It's all about the same. I think I just want to see more cards here. Okay. So we have a plan. So I can effectively add a mana to my mana pool by using Nourishing Shoal to splice this. I just need to find the rest of the mana to do so. I forgot World Spine Worm had that Reanimator clause on it. And I guess that's what you get for printing a 15/15. Just life. Worth noting, our opponent could potentially just die next turn if we rip the right card. That is not the right card. However, it does make things interesting. So the right play here is just pass. Discard this Gristlebrand. And I believe I'm going to try to Goryo's Vengeance it in combat or on end step. If I lead on Nourishing Shoal. Yeah. I think I want to exile a green card. I want to do this first, I think. That might have been a little loose. Because that's my Through the Breach target in like X turns. But I kind of want to bait the counterspell and see if my opponent doesn't figure this out. Okay. Hopefully there's no Murderous Cut in my future. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna block. I'm gonna draw 7 here, just to walk through what's about to happen. So I'd have these cards in my hand, and well, my opponent wasn't dead next turn. I could draw another 7 if I wanted to. Wow, having a bunch of cards in your hand really sucks right now on Magic Online. Yeah, so I would have drawn 2 7s off the Griselbrand onto 5, and I would have looting, looting Griselbrand, and then it would have been easy kill from there. Looting Bevorgamos actually would have done it. So yeah, that's one of those things. Again, if you, so looking at this, so Bob liked. Let me check one something real fast. So Bob said he actually liked Pyroclasm here. I'm not super sold on that. I'm gonna lead on these. He said he didn't like this against decks that apply pressure to your life total. Didn't want too many packs against Delver, because they have like pressure and discard. I definitely agree with boarding out like 1 Through the Breach was his thing, 1 Night's Whisper. Noxious Revival is less good post-board because you're not necessarily comboing out as hard. I guess you also wanted to board out Manamorphose, which means I can board in these. Let's go down to 1 Manamorphose and go up to 2 packs. Cutting a Night's Whisper because the pressure on the life total actually matters. This looks about right. These are like the kind of cards. You can also cut, you said a Temple of Malice, but I think I'd rather have that than a Boseiju in this matchup. I think the mana actually matters for splicing. So yeah, like, that's one of the things about this deck is that, like I said, if you just draw a bunch of cards, it doesn't matter. Yes, please. Does this hand do what I want it to? Yeah, this has to be good enough. Yeah, that whole Griselbrand in combat thing. Also gains 7 life from blocking. Yeah, my opponent knew all my cards, so they just kind of walked into that. There's a lot of weird interactions with the deck that are not necessarily the most intuitive. Or my opponent just didn't have counterspells at all. So I want to save the Spirit Guide, I think, because I'm going to be going through the Breach currently with this hand. Top. I'm probably going to be discarding at least 1 Night's Whisper here. I think it's Goryo's Vengeance Night's Whisper as the discards, actually. That leaves me with 4 mana of the 5 I need, another Night's Whisper through the Breach and a World's Spine Worm. That's going to be my game plan this game. Yeah, I don't have interaction. Turn 2 Tasigur. The Delver deck's really good at doing that, for the record. Steve Rubin was talking about how his opponents were just like always constantly shocked that he just Tasigured them on turn 2. So ideal hit is probably Pact Negation here. So that I can set up to like Whisper next. Realistically, I just want anything that interacts. I don't know if Inquisition's good enough, though. Opponent left a Spell Snare? I do not want that. Math is kind of awkward here, in terms of whether I'm dead or not. Like, I'm just dead to Bolt Snapcaster. Night's Whisper. Well, I don't think Goryo's is going to do the job. So let's Temple. Yeah, I guess I keep that. I probably should have done this the other way where I whisper then temple. Gives me the most information on my scry. Okay. So I have kill with a discard backup next turn. Hope I don't die. Probably dead. Yep, dead. Okay. Got killed on 4. Was going to kill on 4. Didn't have a legal target for Goryo, so... Just going to think through that turn for a second. I'm going to board out a Pyroclasm because I haven't seen any actual... I'm just going to board out all the Pyroclasms. I have not seen the card Delver Secrets. I have actual no indication that my opponent is playing anything other than Gurmag Anglers, honestly. Do I want Through the Breach or something? Yeah, I'll just board in the extra combo piece over the... I don't really want the Knight's Whisper. I don't recall seeing a Delver hit the graveyard at all. They could just be the... I actually think significantly better. Let me think about this hand real fast as I jibber jabber. Not a big fan. Not a lot of card selection. Even if we find a Goryo's, we have to find a discard outlet. I'm going to ship it. This is better. Far too slow to discard. Is it? So 1, 2. So I discard after my opponent's second turn? That's way too slow. Don't really want to fetch just yet. I do wish this deck had, like... I know Zach Jesse top 8 of the Grand Prix with a couple Tormenting Voice in his deck. Grand Prix Charlotte. So there may be something to look into, having a couple of that card. Made a mistake here. I played the wrong fetch on 1. You're supposed to play the less versatile one, and so you can do this and get the tapped land with the worst land. Something, again, I failed to note is that 8 is a number here for this card. You know, you can actually discard Berborgamos to Nourishing Shoal. Maybe I wasn't supposed to... no, I had the Through the Breach. I just had to threaten to do it at any point. Just waiting for the telltale green glow. Okay. Or not. If my opponent doesn't want to do anything, I don't have to do anything. I think I'm okay just waiting on the fetch here, because I don't know if I actually want to fetch. Rather just avoid paying the life. So I think this is a game where I'm going to build up to discard. Discard. Yeah, I would have had to play the third land anyways to get to where I want to be, so it's not the worst case scenario. But I'm going to build up to discard. Oh, there is a Delver. Maybe I missed one earlier in the other games. I don't even want to cast that. I just it accelerates my discard by a turn, but like decelerates it if my opponent has the ability to trade for a counter spell. That sounds like some nonsense. Oh wow, that's sweet. I get the Nourishing Shoal around a spell snare because my Goryo's Vengeance Nourishing Shoal costs like a million D5. 10 or whatever because I exile Borborgamos. I have no reason to make any actions here. That's a solid draw. Okay. It's the right time for my opponent to do that because I'm discarding here and I can't combo yet. Like next turn, if my opponent ever tapped out, I'd just be able to combo. Which is some scary nonsense. I guess the discard step is a natural game action for doing this. Okay. Trying to figure out if I'm supposed to wait. I think I'm supposed to go for it here. I don't think it gets much better. The question I have is if I'm supposed to discard. I think I'm supposed to exile Borg. So I want to exile this because then I can through the breach this, which is like basically immediately lethal on this board state. So I'm exiling this, splicing Goryo's Vengeance, targeting this. Now my opponent has to fire off a counter spell. It's like, what? Are they aware? Do they know how this works? I'd like to draw 7 cards. So that's gonna resolve. I think I want another 7 though. How do I? Let's nope. So I think. So this is actually a deck where you're supposed to do this. That's stupid. How? What? So I've got all this business. Well, my opponent's going to lose this game. I just have to figure out how. It's really hard. I think through the breach worm might be the... But then I can't pact if I just worm. I have another worm. Oh, actually, I have 2 worms, so I'm supposed to Nourishing Shoal here. Try to gain 11, which probably lets me draw another 7 at least. How risky is going to 7 here? I could die to Triple Bolt. And what does it buy me? I have enough Spirit Guides to just through the breach with Inquisition and Pact. Yeah, it doesn't buy me anything. So 14 is safe. Murderous Cut can resolve. This deck is some crazy business. I get another card. So let's lead on. Let's lead on this. Spell Snare, Flash Freeze, Deprive, Counterflux. Interesting. So what is my line here then? That is so much counter magic. Huh. My line definitely involves resolving through the breach. Not taking Flash Freeze. The question, I think it's between Counterflux and Deprive. So I'm going to take Counterflux, I think. Just because that seems like the biggest amount of nonsense. I think my head hurts about how much I'm supposed to do this turn. So I think I'm supposed to go... This is like a bait turn, actually, which is really stupid. So I'm supposed to go... that doesn't work that way. Well, one of these Gorios is a brick. I think I just cast this targeting Grizzleby. No, I was supposed to lead on Desperate Ritual. That was what it was. Then I think I Lightning Axe? Oh, no, I'm stupid. Here we go. I figured it out. Okay, so. Exile Simian Spirit Guide. Faithless Looting. Oh, that did it. Discard Baborgaborg. And Night's Whisper. Black, red. Goro's Vengeance, Baborgaborg. My opponent can now only counter once after this. That's what it is. So, Flash Freeze is useless against Goryo's Vengeance. There we go. I put it all together. All the puzzle pieces. And they were stuck on... There we go. The 3 blue was enough to Flash Freeze, Snare, but they can only play 2 counters otherwise. And I needed to use... And that was... Okay, there we go. Yeah, it turns out drawing like 20-some cards is enough most of the time.